climb up a spine and attach. Eye for an eye, but a bug life, swamps and vines. They get a rise out of frogs and flies. So when a dog bites, hog-tied prize, sort of cost of life. The mouse water on a fork and knife, and the allure isn't right. No score on a war-torn beach where the cash cow's actually beef. Blood turns wine when a leak for police. Like that's not a riot, it's a beast. Let's eat.
And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cast. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace when it came to the sky like none shall pass. None shall pass. None shall pass.
If you never had a day of snow cone, couldn't fix you wouldn't relate to the rogue boat. Caught a blitz, how he spoke through a no-dose. Mutter on the fritz, cause he wouldn't play a role or fetch like a bitch. And express no regrets, though he isn't where the homeowner's pissed to the jokers who pose by the glitz. Sign of the swine and the swarm when a king is a whore who comply and conform. Miles outside of the eye of the storm with a siphon, a lure, and a prize and award, while avoiding the violent bazaar that is violence and war. True blue triumph is more like wait, let it snake up out of the centerfold, let it break the walls of Jericho. Ready go, sat where the old cardboard city folks swap tails with heads like every other penny.
And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cast. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace when it came to the sky like
None shall pass.
None shall pass. None shall pass.
Tried to trick you. You've got a lot of nerve. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm trying to help.
Okay, woke to a grocery list. Goes like this, duty and death. Anyone object, come stand in the way. You could be my little Snake River Canyon today. And I ran with a chain of commands and a jetpack strap where the backstab lands if I can. Sign of the vibe in the crowd when I cut a belly open to find what climb out. With a bit of gusto we must erupt to make a dark horse rush like enough's enough. It must have struck a nerve so they huff and puff. The Lord of Kings men fluster and clusterfuck. And it's a beautiful thing to my people who keep an impressive wingspan. Even when the cubicle shrink, you gotta pull up the intruder by the root of the weed and march you through the machine.
And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cast. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace when it came to the sky like
None shall pass.
none shall pass. None shall pass.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
This is not the fit in the video, but I thought it might be helpful to start with sort of a more standard looking medium shield extender Kestrel and talk a little bit about what's different about this fit. So not my idea, Suetonius' idea, but he suggested double web, double ballistic, which is interesting and solves some problems. So a couple things about the Kestrel that I've not been wild about. DPS is sort of anemic, and it's not very fast. And I feel like those two things together, I think you can live with either one or the other of them and still have a fine fit, but with both of them, I feel like that doesn't work great for the faction warfare meta. And so, well, what can be done about the speed? Well, one option is double web. So let's say we drop the scram, and we bring in double web. And so now we're slow, but we have a lot more range control. And one of the things that does is open up some ammo options for us. So sort of basic rule of thumb for faction warfare, fighting frigates with ABs. If you have one web on them, you shoot faction. If you have two webs on them, you can shoot rage. Obviously, the exact details matter a lot. What sort of ship is it? How big is it? Do they actually have an AB fit? But most of the stuff we would fight in this Kestrel with 2 webs range is fine, and that adds some damage to the picture. And then if we drop the damage control and add another ballistic control, we get some pretty respectable damage. And then if we, from there, add some implants, there's a rocket implant in slot 9. Get a cheap rocket implant, get a cheap rapid launch implant, and the damage is getting fairly respectable. And if there's one thing that's better than having a bunch of damage, it's having a bunch of damage in a fit where your opponent does not expect it and it comes as a surprise. I had never seriously considered making fits without damage controls. They give a lot of stats for the slot and fitting cost. They give resists across all 3 shield, armor, hull, and then particularly in the small ancillary armor rep fits, you kind of need the buffer in armor and hull to get off the reps, and so the SAR is really efficient, the damage control is really efficient, and those 2 together work out great. And so I think mostly with SAR fits, unless you're doing something else, I can't picture what immediately, but you'd have to do something to give you buffer. I guess if you were running like a 4 low setup with like a plate, an ENAM, and an SAR, and whatever else, that maybe could work, but real common damage control SAR, and I had not considered using both low slots for damage mods, and it ends up doing a lot of damage. That's not anemic damage, it's very respectable, and with the double web you've got good range control, and you can fly this Kestrel entirely to minimize incoming damage, so that kind of stretches the buffer out a little farther and gives you more time to do your big DPS. I flew this fit kind of briefly. It's really good. You could do a lot more than what I did in this video with it, but I got excited about what else could I do without a damage control, and this led to me trying out that max gank slasher, which was a lot of fun, and then the max gank Mullis, which was a lot of fun, and a couple other fits, some of which didn't work great, some of which I actually have yet to try, but very excited to realize that damage controls are optional rather than mandatory. I hope you enjoyed the video.